Hey, hi, good evening, everyone. Welcome to today's session of live counter reviews in technical analysis. So for today, the flow will be the same as per usual. First up, I'll go through the US economic calendar. And then afterwards, I'll go into the different indices and commodities, followed by some of the sectors like the Mag 7, US banks, US semicons, as well as EVs. And then last but not least, I'll also go through any questions that you all have. Yeah, so if you all have any counters that you want me to go through, please feel free to drop them in the Q&A, but try to keep to about three per person to give everyone a chance for the questions to be answered. I'll also answer questions asked by uh if you put out your name in the Q&A, I'll prioritize your answers, your questions, I mean, yeah, over the anonymous attendees. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so I'll get started. So first up, taking a look at the economic calendar wise, this week we have a few events to take note. So starting off tonight, there's industrial production 9:15 p.m. Afterwards, going to tomorrow, there's the usual ADP employment change numbers. That's 8:15 p.m. Okay. Afterwards, we have the some home sales data at 10 p.m. Going to Wednesday, the usual API weekly crude oil stock numbers at 4:30 a.m. Followed by the PPI at 8:30 p.m. and factory orders and durables at 10 p.m. Core inventories at 10:30 p.m. Then Thursday early morning will be the FOMC, that's at 2 a.m. Then the press conference at 2:30. Okay, afterwards, Thursday night, there's building permits 8 p.m. Jobless claims at 8:30 p.m. and new home sales at 10 p.m. Yeah, Friday, there's the Atlanta Fed GDP now at 1 a.m. Yeah, so key events for this week, I would say would be the PPI. So PPI is coming out Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. and also the FOMC at Thursday, 2 a.m. So that is just economic events to take note for this week. Yeah. And next one, I'll move on to the indices and commodities. So first up, I'll go through first up, starting off with Bitcoin. I think Bitcoin currently uh still in a bit of a sideways, but I think still looking quite strong actually compared to the indices. So it has tested this resistance level over here, this swing high 74,000 the third time today. And also good thing is that it's standing above price is holding this 70,000 level, which was previously this horizontal level over here. So forming higher lows along the way and so above some of the SMAs like the which is the 10 SMA, 5 SMA as well as 10 SMA, 20 SMA. Yeah, so I think for now we could maybe still see a bit of a sideways consolidation perhaps, but overall as long as price remains above the 5 SMA, I think should be still quite strong for now. So immediate support probably around 71.8 thousand 5 SMA for today. If it goes be under that, then the next support level will be around 70,000. Yeah, there's some resistance at 74K for now, and also next resistance level probably around closer to 77,000. Yeah, so that's for Bitcoin. In terms of the weekly chart, I think currently it's doing a retest of the 10 SMA weekly. So something in terms of the price action, we could be looking at something similar to this portion over here, where after the after the sell, there was a bit of sideways and then rebound to go up towards the 10 SMA weekly. Then afterwards it face some resistance afterwards. So we could be seeing something from 74 to 77,000 for now in terms of the weekly charts. Okay, so that's for Bitcoin. Next one, I'll move on to the indices. First one starting off with Dow Jones. So in terms of Dow Jones, I think currently we're seeing weakness from last week. There was since the breakdown of this 47.8 thousand horizontal level here, price did a retest over here and then met resistance, found resistance at start of the week, which was also around the 5 SMA. So general price action is still weak, finding resistance on 5 SMA, and then we are still seeing this previous support 47,800 turn to resistance. So close the week near the lows. I think for now this week, in terms of resistance for now, I think perhaps at 47.2K, which is this breakdown level over here as well as the 5 SMA. Next resistance level upwards, I think will be the 47.8K level. In terms of the next support levels, I think currently we are near the 200 SME daily for Dow Jones, which is at 46.4K. Next support levels downwards, I would think it's probably about this next swing low level. Previously, I think this will be quite important level, which kind of which was kind of held the pullbacks over here previously at 45.4 to 46K area. So this is the next key support area for Dow Jones that I think will probably hold if it reaches there. Yeah, so that's for Dow Jones. On the weekly, still seeing some weakness as price continue to post 3 straight weeks of declines. And then it's also below the 20 SMA weekly as well. Yeah. Then next one is Nasdaq. So for Nasdaq, I think it is still pretty much a bit stronger than Dow Jones for now, but I think it's at a key level. So for Nasdaq, since the war started, I think it's kind of just pretty much sideways, but then we can see that there's still some weakness where price is still below, I think, the 100 SMA, this blue line over here. And then currently it tested the 200 SMA, which is 22.1K. And it's holding around there. It's a key level. And then in terms of the recent price action, I think still seeing lower highs over here. I have a short-term downwards resistance line over here. And then we can see price has tested this key around the 22.2 thousand level a few times with lower highs. And resistance generally found at the 20 SME level, which is like 22.7K. Yeah, so generally I think it's back at this very key support level, 22.2K. So if this level is important to hold, if it breaks down, I think we could see in general more downside to come. That will probably be a breakdown of this range over here that it has been consolidating in for a few months. So this level is quite important. Below that, the next key support I think would be 21.7K, which was this previous range trading resistance level in September last year. So that's the next key level for Nasdaq. Yeah, so it's just hanging. I think for Nasdaq, it's just hanging around at the key support level that it must hold. If not, we could see further weakness. Next one for S&P. This in terms of the strength, I think it's in between the Nasdaq as well as Dow Jones. So for S&P, for now, I think since the breakdown of 6,800, this key level over here, which was also around the 100 SMA level, the blue line, is generally seeing weakness where breakdown retest it has resistance along at the 5 SMA level. And then last week closed, I think near the lows. So I think for now, some resistance could be around if it does a retest of the this level over here, 6,710. This breakdown level last week, as well as the 5 SMA, there could be some short-term resistance over there. In terms of next key support levels, I think probably be this area over here, which was the two previous swing low levels from around 6,520 to 6,600. I think this will be the next key support level for the S&P 500. So in terms of the indices, I think in terms of weekly, all of them are currently below the 20 SMA weekly, which is a sign of weakness. But in terms of the strength, I think currently Nasdaq is the most resilient, then followed by S&P 500 and Dow Jones. Yeah, so that's for the relative strengths. Next one I'll touch on is gold. So I think for gold, I think that we could be seeing some further weakness ahead. In terms of the price action, I feel that it has been in this flag pattern over here that just broke down, I think, Friday. Okay, so in terms of some of the key levels, price this is a very important level at 5,080, 5,090. So this was a resistance over here. And then there was a breakout at the end of February. Price did a retest afterwards, tested a few times with lower highs and then just kind of consolidated over here. And then afterwards, we saw a breakdown of this level on Friday. So I think that's a sign of weakness. Price is also trading below the short-term SMAs. So I think we could be seeing some further downside, maybe towards the next key level, somewhere around 4,850s over here. Yeah, so that's the next key support level for gold. And then the yeah the important trend I think will be this one. Some of this trend line support over here that's helped the previous sell off over here. So that's the next lower level will be 4,700. So I think for now, if it tests, if it breaks below this 4,986, this low over here, we could be seeing some further weakness towards 4,850s for gold. Given that it has broke down below 5,080. So I think some possible short-term weakness for gold. Next one I'll touch on is oil. Yeah, so for oil, generally still very volatile as expected, but I think for now we are currently seeing after the sharp spike and then sharp pullback on Monday, then we are currently seeing a rebound over here. Um, I think in terms of the short-term support wise, we're still seeing price having daily closes above the 5 SMA, this blue line. So I think that will still act as a short-term support, which is currently around $93.50. I think that will be one support level. In terms of horizontal support level, the next one below that I think will be like $88.50. Yeah, so I think for now we could be seeing some sideways consolidation, I feel. If it probably finding support if it does retest some of these 5 SMA levels, with it forming a lower wicks like recently every day. In terms of resistance, I think for now it could be some resistance daily along the upper Bollinger Bands. We can see that it has kind of tagged the upper Bollinger Band every day. So that could be daily resistance levels. Yeah, currently around like today is about $101. Yeah, so I think that's for oil. We could be seeing some kind of, I feel, sideways consolidation. Next one for VIX, I think. Yeah, so this is a general picture for the VIX. Price briefly went above 28 and then sharply came down. And currently, I think it's at this level again at the 25 this horizontal level. Yeah, so I think for now, if there's a break below 25, we could be seeing it come down towards maybe 22 again, this next level. Yeah, then for now, I think some resistance is probably 28 to 30 over here. Yeah, so for VIX, I think probably be, quite sideways for now. I don't think there will be another sharp spike after the spike came down relatively fast over here. Yeah, so I think I'm guessing some sideways movement between like 22 to 28 for now. Next one is copper. Yeah, so for copper, I think relatively sideways, but multiple tests of this horizontal level, 5.7, and then some lower highs along the way. So some weakness generally. So resistance probably like 5.8 now onwards. And then support is like currently 5.7. But if it gives way, then the next support level is like 5.5, 5.55 around there. Yeah. So that's it in terms generally. That's it for some of the indices and commodities. I'll move on to the sector. So first I'm starting off with the Mag 7. Yeah, so this is the chart for the Roundhill Mag 7 ETF MEGS. So generally we have, I think, price has, we are currently seeing some weakness where I think there's a breakdown of this head and shoulders neckline over here at $62. And then this area has turned into a bit of resistance. And generally has seen is forming like a sideways flag over here. So this level is quite important, like 60, around 60, 60.15 over here, which has tested like a few times, 4 times over here. So I think if there's a breakdown, then that will spell more downside. But for now, it looks like still pretty much sideways with resistance about 62. Yeah. So in terms of the chart, if there's a breakdown below this consolidation recently, I think the next key level, if we could be seeing a gap fill over here at $58. So 57 to 58, I think will be the next key support for MEGS. Yeah, for the overall Mag 7 index. Yeah. Then if we look at the Bloomberg Mag 7 index, also currently it's a bit of a starting short-term downwards channel over here. So yeah, some weakness below this 30,000 key level with lower highs, and think that if there's a breakdown below, if there's a breakdown below like 29.5K, the next key level for this probably be around 29,000 next year over here. So that's for the index. Okay, I'll move on to the individual names. So first up, let's look at Meta. So for Meta, I think generally, it's been showing some slight weakness. So price is still remaining below the weekly uh the 5, 10, 20 SMAs. Also recent consolidation over here, the sideways, there was a breakdown last week below the 632 level. So I think that's for now. Currently, we are seeing a bit of a pre-market gap, but I think this week, if it does retest these previous support levels, as well as the currently the SMEs over here at around 640, we probably will see some resistance over here. Yeah, then next key support, I think that could hold the price in the short term will be the retest of this swing low over here at 600, close to 600 over here. Yeah, so I think will be probably quite sideways, but a bit of lower highs, lower lows, I feel. Yeah. So it could be just it's still maybe hold at 600, but like 630, 640 will become some resistance. Okay, next one, let's look at Apple. Yeah, so for Apple, I think generally it's also pretty weak. Price, there was a breakdown of this 255 key support level last Friday. So yeah, price did a retest of 255, then we had a lower high. This breakdown of 261 held as resistance, and price is also finding resistance along the 5 semi currently. So I think we could be seeing some further weakness to come to maybe perhaps retest this 245 key level again. So this was like this, if it does reach this level, it will be like the third time there's a test of this level. Yeah, so previous two times, I think it would serve as very important turning points for the price to rebound. So I think this is a key support that will probably still hold the price for now. So this next support level, then for now, resistance probably at 255 or when we test the 5 SMA. Okay, next one for Amazon, I think generally a bit more resilient, but it's still pretty much quite sideways. So I think did a retest of the weekly 5 SMA level. In terms of the daily chart, I think generally quite sideways. Price couldn't really maintain above 211, this level over here, but also still finding some support at this, generally still holding this level at 203 over here. So I think this is the next support level. As long as we hold this price, I think could be still relatively sideways with some resistance at 211. But if it gives way below 203, then it will likely retest like 196 level. So I think for now, generally still quite resilient. As long as it doesn't break below 203. So just pretty much sideways for now. Then next one, Netflix. Yeah, Netflix after the run over here, we're currently seeing some pullbacks. I think some weakness as price was unable to hold this 97 level after the overshoot over here. So currently also below some of the 5 and 10 SME levels. I think this will be some temporary resistance, some short-term resistance at 96, 97 over here. And in terms of next support level, I think could be looking at 90, 92 perhaps. Looking at this next previous level over here. Yeah, so I think for now in the short term, it could be doing some sideways consolidation. I feel after this strong momentum, we're likely to see some consolidation. I feel, yeah. So maybe 92 is the next support, and perhaps if the weekly 5 SMA comes up, catches up, I think that could be a support level as well. So that's for Netflix. Okay, next one is on Alphabet. So for Alphabet, I think generally still quite there's still some weakness, I feel. So price retested this 296 key level again. Then there was a bit of rebound, but in general it was lower highs, and then also finding some resistance at this previous support breakdown at 307 about it. So also finding some resistance at 20 SMA level. So I think if this holds a reason, we might see it come and test 296 again. If it goes below the Thursday, Friday lows at $300, then that could mean 296 again. In terms of the weekly chart, also still pretty weak for now. Below the there was a breakdown below the 20 SMA weekly, as well as currently it's still holding below the 5 SMA weekly, which is like 306. Unless you can get above this 306, 307 level, I think for now maybe still some short-term weakness. Then could be looking at 296 again. Still pretty much sideways over here. Yeah. Then below 296, the next key level, I think will be somewhere around 27. I think like 276, 27 over here, this area. Okay, then next one, Microsoft. Yeah, Microsoft, I think for now it's still a bit more resilient. It's generally still holding up in a bit of a sideways over here. The key support again is still around 392. Then some resistance still finding at like 404. I don't know. Yeah, in terms of the weekly charts, they a retest of the 5 SMA weekly over here. Yeah, so I think for now it could be still quite sideways. I think that if it goes below 392, then it could come back towards this swing lower, right? 383 around it. Yeah, I think that would probably still hold the price in the short term. Still relatively quite sideways. Yeah, so that's it for the Max 7. Generally it's a bit quite sideways to a bit of downside. Some counters are a bit weaker, but there are a few that just kind of sideways during this period. So I think the key to watch for the Max 7 this ETF is that this $60 level must hold. If not, we could be looking at more downside. The next sector I'll look at is the financials, so which has been a bit weak recently. So first of all, I'll look at this SPDR XLF, which tracks the financial sector as a whole. So in terms of the chart, I think there's some breakdowns, which is like $51 over here. And then price actually retested this next area of support, like 49 to 49.50. Yeah, in terms of the MA is currently below the 5 SMA level. I think we could be looking at perhaps more downside if it fails to hold this 49.50 level. So the next key support for the XLF, I think could be somewhere around 48. Yeah, around 48. Then next one is like 47. So these are some previous horizontal levels over here. Then also zooming out, I think there's also like this in general the upward trend line, upward channel support. So I think this will be quite a strong support. Over here, if it reaches like 47, 48 area, there's also this blue line over here. So that's the next key support, I think, that could hold the financial sector over here. Okay, going to the next one, I'll talk about the 4 US banks. So first one, JP Morgan. So you can see there's weakness where price did a breakdown below this 294 level over here. And then currently just hanging at this next support level, which is this area at 280 is about it. Yeah, so I think just a bit sideways over here, but still some weakness. I think short-term resistance, I think will be at from 286 towards like 292. Then if it goes below the last week's support of like 280, the next key support I think could be at around 273 for JP Morgan. The next one, Bank of America, also still quite weak. Okay, yeah. So in terms of the chart, I think there was a breakdown below this $48 level over here, this key horizontal level, and then yeah, next support levels I think is like 46.40 and then 44.70 based on previous horizontal levels over here. Yeah, and then short-term resistance I think will be still along the 5 and 10 SMEs recently, 47.70 to 48.60. Okay, next one, City Group. Yeah, also below the 110 level, now holding as previous support, holding as resistance, and now actually retested the next level at 103, 104. So I think this could still hold as a bit of support over here, but maybe just a bit sideways. Yeah, some resistance at 108 for now, 108 to 110. And next one, Wells Fargo. Yeah, Wells Fargo is a bit weak. Well, with a breakdown below this 77 level. Yeah, the next key support level, I think that could hold is 70, closer to 71 over here. Yeah, then resistance probably from the this 5 SMA for now, maybe at 77, 78. There's some resistance. Yeah, so in general for the financials, I think a bit weaker for now. Yeah, for the financial sector. That's why the Dow Jones is also a bit weaker than compared to the Nasdaq, right? Then next sector I'll talk about is the semicons. So let's take a look at the semicon index. Okay, first up, I'll talk about the Philadelphia Semicon Index stocks. So for the stocks last week, there was a retest of this key support level at around 7,470. So Monday we tested this level again, then recovery, but still finding some resistance for now at this 10 SMA level, as well as the horizontal level breakdown at 7,900, and also this short-term trendline support breakdown over here. So 7,900 is a quite 7,900, 8,000 is a quite a strong resistance for now, I feel. And for now, I think we'll probably still hold this 7,400, 7,500. So short-term wise, perhaps looks like I think sideways consolidation for now for the Philadelphia Semicon Index. On the weekly chart, also tested the 20 SMA weekly at 7,400, 7,500 about. Then resistance, we can see 7,800, 7,900, 5 and 10 SMAs weekly. So I think most likely we will see some sideways movement for the time being. Okay, next one, let's look at some of the individual semicon counters. First up is NVIDIA. So for NVIDIA, I think generally nothing much has changed. So still pretty much range bound recently. Key upward support line over here is still holding. So that's at 177. Also this horizontal level. So I think this is a very important level, 176, 177. For now, resistance, yeah, still at around 184, 185. So generally still quite range bound, I feel. Nothing much at the moment. Next one for AMD. Yeah, for AMD, I think yeah, it's still holding at the support of 191 around there. But generally, I think still a bit of weakness where we still are seeing lower high rebounds being formed. So and generally, yeah, lower highs rebound and some resistance along the 20 SMA. I think there will be a key resistance for now at 204 on there. On the weekly chart, yeah, on the weekly chart also finding some resistance along the 5 SMA for now. Yeah, so it's still be weaker compared to Nvidia. I think if there's a break below 191, then we might see it retest some of the lower previous resistance levels like 182 over here. The next one is a gap fill at 171. So it just kind of sideways over here about lower highs. Okay, next one, TSM. I think we still, yeah, although this one also starting to show some weakness after the breakdown of this 357 level over here, supporting to resistance. And then afterwards, we can see this 357 resistance, currently some support at 337. So a bit sideways over here, but finding resistance around the 10 SMA as well. So I think for now, the next key support level, I think will probably be around 328, 329, this horizontal level over here, which is kind of just consolidated sideways previously. So I think for now, maybe a bit sideways over here. The next one, ASML. Yeah, for ASML, I think for now, looks like after this double top at 1,490, I think some pullback and then price still feel this gap over here, like at 1,280, then this support area like 1,310. There a bit of rebound over here, but generally finding some resistance last week from this horizontal level over here, 1,400, as well as the 10 SMA. So some pullback over here. I think generally for this week, we might see some sideways, I feel. Some recent probably still at 1,400. Then support for now, probably this 1,340 area. Yeah. Okay, then for Marvel, I think after the earnings, there was a gap up over here. So price retested this swing high resistance area at 94. Then we found there's a bit of resistance and there a bit of a pullback. I think short term wise, in terms of support, I think the for now support likely to be at 85, which was this swing high, and also currently the 10 SMA level. So for now, maybe we could be seeing some sideways movement generally between 85 to $94 for Marvel. And above 94, the next key resistance I think will be like this 97, 98, and then followed by 102. Okay, next one, Micron. So I think for Micron, generally is quite resilient. So last week, kind of just tested this swing low at 366, and then there was a bit of rebound. Price stood currently is standing above the SMEs over here. Like Thursday, it did a back test of 390s, found support, and then close near the week highs. In terms of short term levels, it also broke in above this short term downwards resistance line. So I think for now, looks like possibly some breakout of this descending triangle over here ahead of the results this week. So currently market is about 442 for now, a bit slightly higher than this horizontal level at 437. So that might be the new support level. I think could be seeing another test of the resistance over here at 455 again. Then we might face some resistance. Yeah. Then we see again how it goes after the earnings. Okay, next one I'll go through two more, which are Broadcom as well as Intel. So for Broadcom, I think after the earnings it was here. So price did a bit of gap up and tested this, still facing some resistance from this downwards resistance line, this line over here, as well as this swing high at 352. So afterwards, price did a pullback, and then currently some weakness where it's broke below on Friday broke below the 330 level, which was the 10 and 20 SMA level. So some weakness. I think we could be seeing some weakness again towards this 307, 308 level again. They might find some support over here. Yeah, so in general, I think it could be, for now, I think it's still in this sort of descending triangle where this is the resistance and then the support is over here. So we might be seeing some consolidation take place between like 308 to 340s. Yeah. So 308 is, I think, quite important to hold. If below that, I think we could be looking at some lower levels like 280s over here. Yeah. So I think for now, we probably still hold at 3. Yeah, in terms of the weekly, I think generally still finding some resistance from the weekly SMEs, particularly above the 10 SMA and also the 20 SMA level. Next one, Intel. Yeah, Intel, I think for now, nothing too much, just kind of pretty much sideways. Yeah, price still holding the support. Horizontal support level, right, around 42.50, then some resistance. Now it's at 47 about that. Then next one is like 40, around $50 about there. Yeah, so I think still quite relatively range bound for now. Yeah, so that's it for the semicons. I think generally more resilient than the financials for now. Yeah, but some of them are just pretty much kind of sideways. Yeah. Then I think yeah, there's some that are more stronger, which are like the memory names like Micron. I think let's say for the semicons. Next one I'll move on to the last sector, which is the EVs, before I go to the counters that you have. So first up is Tesla. Yeah, so for Tesla, I think generally last week is still holding this horizontal support level at 387, tested I think three times recently. But I think in general still some weakness where we are still seeing lower highs, lower lows in general along this downwards channel. Yeah, so and then key resistance I think for now is above the 20 SMA level, the yellow line. Whenever it pops above that, then we see some resistance. So that's around like 404, 405. For now, I think yeah, if you get another break of 387, we might see some weakness downwards, I feel. For Tesla. Yeah, so below 387, I think the next key support level will probably be around 368. Yeah, there's a bit of a small gap over here in the previous swing high resistance, 368. Yeah, then for now, I think looks like still a bit sideways between like 386 to like 405. Okay, next one, new. Yeah, for new, I think it's a bit after the results, I think we could be seeing a bit of a short-term reversal for new in terms of the price action. I think there was after the result there was a retest of this 580 swing high level. Afterwards, some slight pullback and close the week above 580. So we might be seeing some short-term momentum, I think, to carry on towards maybe 630 again. This next swing low like 630, then next one is 670. Okay, then next one, Xpeng also I think is showing a bit of a rebound recently above this 1870 level, this resistance, and also retesting this uh around like 1980 level. Yeah, so you could be seeing some perhaps a bit of a sideways over here, some support around currently like probably 1920. Yeah, there is some resistance from this retest of the previous support around $20. Okay, next one, last one I'll talk about is Rivian. I think for Rivian, yeah, some still resistance above $16. I think support currently is like 14, around 14.50 still. So kind of just remaining in a bit of a range, I feel, at this moment. Okay, then I think that's all for the different sectors. Okay, I'll move on to the questions that you all have in the Q&A. Okay, so first up, I think from BY, there's three questions: Joby, CCL, and AppLove. Okay, first one, Joby Aviation. Okay, for Joby, I think for now, nothing too much. Quite a range. just a range between like 930 to 1070. Yeah, so generally it's a bit of a pullback over here. So if it breaks below 930, we could be seeing the next support level I think would be like around 810, yeah, 810 to 840 area for Joby Aviation. Yeah. Yeah, then above 1070 next level, this is like 11 close to 1140. This gap down over here. So I think probably nothing too much for now in a bit of sideways. Okay, then next one for Carnival, I think price has went back after the breakdown of this short support line over here at $30. I think price has went back all the way to towards this support over here at 24. Fill this gap. Yeah, so I think in terms of the strong support level could be somewhere along this trendline support. So previously, I think it has been holding since October 2022. If it tests this line, that's probably around like something around $22.40 about there. Yeah, it's like this next horizontal support level as well. Yeah, so for now, I think it's a bit yeah, kind of probably just sideways after hitting this support level here at 24.50. Yeah, some resistance at 25, around 25.30 to 26.50 now. I think we'll probably do a bit of a sideways for now. Okay, for app loving, I think price has retested the previous support breakdown levels. So this was like $500 over here. Um, yeah, currently I think support could be around this area, 435 to 447, this area where previously there was a bit of a consolidation over here. So afterwards, price broke out. Currently, I think pulling back. If it does retest this level around the 20 SMA as well, I think there could be some support that comes in over here for observing. Yeah, that's around the 5 SMA weekly as well. Yeah, so probably around somewhere around 444. Yeah, so I think for now we might be seeing some sideways consolidation with resistance above 490 to 500s, and then support I think for 440s over here. Okay, thanks. Next question for Oracle and Nvidia and Grab by SY. Okay, for Oracle, I think after the earnings we had a gap up over here, so it opened around this swing high resistance, which is like 165, and then we had a pullback for like 3 days. So I think for now, most probably, I think it like, now I feel this gap over here, 154. So I think this area probably will hold as support for now. Where there's a few of the SMAs over here, as well as the horizontal level previously before the earnings. So I think this is a temporary support. In terms of resistance, probably is around like 160. There's some resistance, 160 to 165 now. So in the short term wise, I think we could be seeing some sideways consolidation, I feel. In terms of the weekly chart, I think they had a retest of the 10 SMA weekly last week. But generally still facing some resistance along there as it's still in a bit of a downtrend. Yeah, so that's at 163.50 last week. Okay, then I'll talk about Grab. Yeah, for Grab, I think Yeah, we could still continue to see some weakness for that. Uh, so let me try to draw the next key levels. Yeah, so price tested the $4 level a few times, and then there was a breakdown below that. I think next key levels probably were 360, 360 followed by 336 over here. Yeah, so generally still in this downtrend channel over here, and I think still quite weak over here. Price is trending below along the 5 SMA as a resistance. So I think could be seeing lower lows towards these two next support levels for Grab. Okay, hi, Boo Seung, your question on Vistra, Seagate, Micron. Okay, for Vistra, I think still pretty strong. I think generally still an uptrend. And then also price managed to break out this resistance like 61 to 62 over here, which tested a few times. Yeah, and then yeah, still very positive. Generally higher lows, and then a few times testing the resistance at 62. So I think most likely we could see higher highs come up. Yeah, then short-term support will be this 61, 62 will probably be turn into a support for now. Yeah, so I think it's a very nice chart. I think should be seeing higher highs to come. Then for next one, Seagate. Yeah, Seagate some weakness recently where there was after the breakdown of 397. Yeah, for now I think price most likely is doing sideways between this 340s to about 400 over here. Yeah, some short-term support around 373 over here right now. So if you can hold 373, you might do sideways over here at a bit of a higher level. Yeah, I think in general just kind of sideways at a lower range for now for Seagate. Okay, hi James, your question. Ferrari, GE, and MA. Okay, for Ferrari, I think generally still a bit of a downward downtrend since like this October last year. So currently, I think at the retest of this support again at retest of this support at 330, I think probably will still hold. I think it's the first uh should be the first retest since this period over here. So I think probably we could see a bit of a bounce with some short term some resistance. I think for now it's like probably around 340s over here. Yeah, so I think that would be the short term resistance at 340s for Ferrari. Yeah, below 330, next support level is like 318. Okay, next one for GE Aerospace. Yeah, for GE Aerospace, I think some weakness for now after some bearish price actions where price broke down below three like 329, 330 this level afterwards. Also this next support level 313 is being broken last end of last week. So I think for now it could be looking at the next key support level, which is closer to 290, this level over here. I think that might hold the price. Yeah, then for now some resistance I think could be along the 5 semi level. Probably like 313 this level. For now some resistance, yeah. I think for now, could be heading a bit lower towards maybe 294. Then afterwards, you might see a bounce from there. Okay, next one, Mastercard. Yeah, for Mastercard, I think generally I think it's seeing weakness as well. For this one, I think price we could be seeing a retest of this support area again, like 490. Over here, then we might see a bounce. Yeah. Then also recently this previous support level 520 breakdown has turned to a resistance over here. Short term wise, I think we might be seeing resistance generally from like 505 to 513, I feel, over here. So I think still in a bit about low high, lower lows. Yeah, then below like this 490 level, the next key support I think would be like 480, then 470. Okay, next one. Hi Silver, your questions are on Sandisk, uh STX and WTC. Okay, first one look at Sandisk. I think it's looking pretty good. So uh I think chart looks kind of similar like Micron. So price rebounded from the did a retest of this support level over here, like 540 last week. Then there was a bit of rebound. Then also climb back towards above the short-term moving averages, which held as support. And then I think close above this short-term downwards resistance line. So I feel that most probably I think it could continue to go higher to retest the previous high over here at 725. Yeah, after this, looks like a descending triangle consolidation breakout. Yeah, then Seagate went through earlier. Next, Western Digital. Yeah, for Western Digital, I think generally is a bit of a range bound, but I think he's trying to, I think, regain some strength. Recently, last Monday we tested this swing low 244 around there, then rebound. Then tested this support level breakdown at 273. Yeah, held the SMA over here 5 and 10, 260. Then tested the resistance again on Friday. Today we're seeing a bit of a gap up. So I think generally should be overcome this resistance at 273. So I think the price probably could come back towards 295 this area again, 295 to 309. Yeah, so I think we'll probably try to test this upper end of the resistance again for Western Digital. Okay, hi ECL, your question are Nebius, United Health, and JP Morgan. Okay, for Nibis, I think generally the chart was quite good. There was a breakout of this range, between like 78 to 108 on towards the end of last week. And currently now pre-market is like we have a gap up over here 125.80. So most probably I think we could see a retest of the resistance area over here again at the 135 to 141 area again. And then I think uh, probably some resistance will hold over there. Afterwards, we see a pullback sideways. Okay, next one, United Health. I think for now, nothing too much. Really sideways. It's a range over here between like January 270 to 290s. Yeah, so if there's a breakout of 292, then we could see maybe to test 30 like 303, 304, maybe. Yeah. But for now I think quite should be still quite sideways. Okay, next question is by Greedy Black. ATRO and ALM. This is Astronics Corporation. Yeah, for this, I think recently there's a breakdown of this range consolidation, 72 to 81. So most probably we could be seeing some uh maybe a retest of this 5960 level again. Yeah. Also, there's a breakdown of higher volume as well. So short-term resistance probably from the 5 SMA level, I feel. And also like 70 about it. This one, Almonty Industries. Yeah, generally I think it's an uptrend. Most probably I think for now it could be doing a bit of a sideways movement. Yeah, some resistance at like 2250. Generally still holding support along the 10 SMA red line over here. Yeah, so I think could be a bit sideways. Could be a bit sideways with support around like $19, $20 about that. Resistance like 22, 23. Okay, hi Sharon. Good evening. Your question is two support resistance for Broadcom, TSM, Palladium. Yeah, first one support resistance. Okay, for the support, next one is probably like next one is probably like around the 308 level again. Afterwards, probably this lower wick we have 295. Resistance I think for now probably there's some resistance like I think 330. The next one is 330. Yeah. Then for TSM, I think some support. For now probably is like 328. Then next one is like maybe 318. This lower 319 around there. This lower weight resistance wise, I think it's probably like for now maybe some resistance at 345. The next one is like 357. Okay, then for Palantir some support. Mm, some support I think for now is like at this level 147, 48 as of Friday. Afterwards, like is probably around 141, 141, 142 about there. Yeah. Then resistance for now, I think some resistance at was is here 153, 154. And next one is like uh 157 for now. Looks a bit sideways. And currently looks like a bit of a sideways consolidation for now. As long 148 doesn't break. Okay, hi Wendy, your question. Broadcom, Palantir, SPDR, Singapore ETF. Okay, I'll explain Palantir a bit more. So I think for Palantir, I think after the recovery above 146, 148, I think recover back above this neckline breakdown. So kind of just sideways over here for now. Yeah. So I think key for now I think is to hold this 140 as well as try to hold the 5 and 10 SMAs at 152 lah. Then it could do like a bit of a flag over here. Yeah. So I think some reasons is like this some levels 153, 157 and 161. Yeah. In terms of the weekly, also hanging around the 10 SMA currently. Yeah, so I think it's just sideways above 140. As long as 140 doesn't break, then I think it should be still okay for. Then for the STI ETF, yeah, for STI ETF, I think there was the pullback actually tested this trendline support recently. So there's around 470. Uh, yeah, then some rebound over here. Looks like a bit probably we could be seeing some sideways movement for now. Some reasons at 487, 4.87 right now. So probably a bit of sideways. Next reason about 494, I think, for this STI ETF. Yeah, in terms of the weekly chart, I think tested the 20 SMA weekly last week, 4.7. So yeah, probably we'll just see some sideways over here. Okay, hi, next, Alan, your questions on Eli Lilly, Microsoft, and ServiceNow. Okay, for Eli Lilly, I think generally still quite sideways range. So generally between like 977 and 1,100 over here. Recently, some price weakness. And since the breakdown of 1,010 over here, price has been lower, generally following lower lows, as lower lows and lower highs. Just sideways, generally between like 1,977 to 1,010 over here. So I think looks a bit sideways for now. As long as 977 doesn't break, I think it should be still okay. Below 977, next support level like 954, I feel. Yeah, then I think short term wise, we'll probably see some continue sideways, 1,010. The next reason like 1,030. The next one, ServiceNow. Okay, for service now, I think generally, um, yeah, a bit of a slight recovery for now, but yeah, then some resistance from the retest of previous support area at 126. Currently, some pullback. I think support could hold at this 20 SMA level, like 111, 109, this area, 109 to 111, this breakout level in the short term. Yeah, so I think maybe you could do a bit of sideways. If you can hold the weekly 5 SMA level. Yeah. Some resistance I think feel for now it's 119 to 121 over here. Yeah, I think maybe we'll do that, do a bit of range bound, I feel. Yeah, as long as 108, 109 doesn't break. Okay. Greedy black. With respect to ARO, what's my opinions? Don't catch point knife cut loss or average down when you rebound up. Uh, okay, I think in general for this kind of content, volume is pretty low lah. So I think it can be quite volatile for me. If you are not in, I think probably wait a bit more to maybe see whether maybe 15 this 5960 maybe would be a bit of an entry price for a short term bounce. Yeah, then if I think if you are in, then if you are down, maybe wait. I think yeah, since there was a breakdown, I think probably wait for a while. If there's a retest, maybe 70 about there, then maybe you can consider to cut loss lah if you're thinking of it. Yeah, that's what I feel. Okay. Okay, I see from the chat there's also some questions from Alan. So it's on his questions are on Upstart, Grab, and Cloudflare. Yeah, for Upstart, I think generally it's still a bit weak lah, since it's still downtrending and also price is below the $31 previous support level. For now, it's a bit sideways in the range. So it's a sideways range right now. Resistance like 29 to $30. And also some reasons from the short-term moving averages over here. So I think a bit sideways over here. But if there's a breakdown of 20 these lows at 25.60, we might be looking at lower lows. Then the next key support I think will be like closer to the $21 level. This will be a very strong support. Yeah, so for now probably I think it's a sideways range with resistance generally at 29 to $31. Okay, then for Cloudflare, okay, for Cloudflare, I think there could be a chance of it trying to go higher. So price has been testing this resistance. This key resistance 212 a few times over here. Yeah. So afterwards, current price is holding along the 5 SMA over here. So let's say if we can hold a higher low, preferably like above 202 over here, AVR, then I think there could be a chance of it trying to break out this resistance at 212. The next key level for this probably is around 228 over here. Okay, the next one. Yeah, I think, yeah, probably go through quite a bit already. Yeah, I'll see some other questions from other attendees. So I could talk about uh Motorola and Ethereum. Yeah, for Motorola, I think after the earnings price went to do a retest of the 489 level, then we are seeing a pullback. Still holding this support level right around 450. Yeah, so I think for now, we could be seeing another. Yeah, let's see whether price can try to test this 49 level again. As long as it holds, I think as long as it holds 464 over here, then I think it should be there's a chance. Yeah, since there was a bit of a slight consolidation over here, and price book above the 5 SMA over here. Okay, next is the VanEck Ethereum ETF. And for this, I think generally quite sideways over here, but I think as a long pre-market, there's a gap up above the 3140 resistance. So I think there's a chance that uh could be testing the weekly 10 SMA level that where expected, where there's a bit of resistance previously. Yeah, so somewhat it could be somewhere similar over this part. That we're seeing 35, there might be some resistance. 35 around there. Okay, then I think there's some questions on the three local banks. I will talk about them as well. Yeah, for the three local banks, I think generally for first one for DBS, I think hit there was a retest of previous resistance at this area, 54.80. So there was a bit of a bounce over here. So I think for now, most likely we see some sideways movement. Resistance, I think generally from 56 to 50 to like 57 over here. Yeah, this area. It could be some resistance in the short term. Yeah, 56 on the weekly, there's the 5 and 20 SMA as well. Yeah, so that's probably some first near-term resistance. Support probably will, if it comes back again, I think support will still hold 54 around there. Then next one is like if it goes a bit lower, like 52.50, very strong support over here. The next one for UOB also last week tested the 35.40 level over here. Then after some rebound, short-term reason I think will be around 36.80 around there. Yeah. Yeah, could be doing some short-term sideways movement, I feel, between like 36 to 36.80. Then for OCBC, also last week we tested previous reasons, $20.20 over here, and there will be a rebound. I think short-term reasons will probably hold at $20.80 to $21 now. So kind of sideways as well. In general, the three local banks pretty much sideways. Okay, I'll take one more question. I think on Singtel by Joshua. Yeah, so for Singtel, I think generally it's been still pretty resilient. So in terms of the charts, still uptrend. And then during the pullback, I think it's still holding above previous resistance at 485 around there. So kind of sideways around here for now. Yeah, I think for now, nothing much, still pretty sideways. So I think, yeah, just kind of, I think range trading now between 490 to 515 about there. But I think it's still pretty okay as holding previous reason as support for Singtel. Okay, I think it's about 9:15, so I'll stop my sharing over here today. Let me just stop sharing my screen. Yeah. Then let me just share some links in the chat. Just give me a moment. Okay, so I'll drop some links in the chat. So first one, there's a survey form. I'll appreciate it if you can help me to fill up and also leave your feedback about today's session if you like it, I appreciate if you leave a positive review. If you have any feedback on how you can improve your experience further in the future, also welcome to leave any suggestions so I can take into account that as well. And also, if you have new or you haven't joined our poetry committee or technical analysis, feel free to download using the link over here, over in the chat. Yeah, so there's a few committee groups over there. And also, there's also a Poems Telegram TA link at Poems TA. So if you haven't joined, feel free to join using this handle over here. So I think yeah, that's all for today. I think there's still a few questions that I'm unable to answer in view of time. I appreciate all of you for tuning in and posting your questions. And yeah, I think that's all for today. I hope to see you all again in the next session, which is next week. And have a good week ahead. And also take note of some of the key events like PPI, also FOMC, and also let's continue to see what's the developments in the war that will affect the market as well. Yeah, so that's all for everyone. Thank you and hope to see you again. Stay safe and healthy. Yeah, hope to see you again next week. Bye bye.